Look at the weather.
It's beautiful here.
Non-stop rain.
Oh, man, it is a blazer out there.
It's cold and it's shivery.
It is cold.
It's really coming down here.
I really enjoy your weather reports.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network, we're talking weather in a whole new way. From historical events to what's coming up, plus weather news, science, safety, fun facts, and more.
I like where this is going.
This is Weather Weekly. Weather Weekly with Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey.
Episode 146, good to be with you, Weather Weekly, as we roll along for the month of October and starting to feel a little more like October, feeling the chill this weekend. I know some areas, I did get some reports on social media that you saw a little bit of frost on the ground. Wasn't widespread, but did see a little bit of that. I think specifically was Sunday morning this past weekend. So get ready. It's that time of year. We got some ups and downs in this upcoming forecast here. We're not done with the mild temperatures just yet. And several rain opportunities. It's going to be kind of a busier forecast here as we roll along this work week. We'll talk about it in the week ahead for the forecast of October 9th, 2023. That's next on Weather Weekly. All right, before we get back into this forecast, the week ahead for October 9th, 2023, I did want to bring up, since I mentioned the subject of frost, that we had a few patches Sunday morning, and I think we might have a couple more mornings here early on in the week where we could see some patchy areas of frost. Don't think it's going to be widespread. However, we are approaching that date of our average first frost, which is right around 36 or lower. All right. 36 is the number that you're looking for in terms of temperatures, because that would allow at the surface temperature, maybe get closer to that freezing mark. 36 doesn't guarantee a widespread frost, but you're going to see a lot of areas with some frost there. So some of the average dates here, I'll give you a couple of cities just briefly before we jump in this forecast. Indy, October 17th. So that's still about a week-ish away. Kokomo, October 8th. So it is a little bit sooner. Rockville, October 2nd. We're already past that. Terre Haute, October 7th. West Lafayette, September 30th. Whitestown, October 8th. You'll know, when you get outside of the major city areas, it is a little bit earlier. Indy is one of the latest. So, earliest dates, just about all of these spots, it was somewhere in the month of September. Indianapolis specifically was September 14th, 1923. But the earliest I have here was Frankfurt and Farmland, both August 29th, 1965. Boy, that's real early. Same thing for West Lafayette, too. So it can happen earlier. I'd say, if we get a little bit of frost here and there and you see your first frost this week, could happen early in the week. We're kind of on schedule, maybe just a little bit earlier than normal, but not by much. So not a significant deal. So let's jump into the forecast here. We'll start with Monday the 9th. After a little bit of light sprinkles in the morning, we're going to see decreasing clouds. Winds will settle back a little bit. It's kind of blustery on Sunday. I don't think it'll be quite as windy. Should be a little brighter, should be a little warmer as a result. Monday's high up to around 61. I do think with some clearing skies, some lighter winds, I've got to slow down to a 39 in Indianapolis, but there will be many communities outside of Indianapolis that will dip down into the mid-30s. So it is worth a mention of some patchy frost early Tuesday morning. Tuesday the 10th, also a dry day. After a chilly start in the morning, we'll see plenty of sunshine rolling through the afternoon. We'll go with a high of 63. Again, this is still running below average. Normal high should be around 69 for this time of year. And again, I think with a clear sky Tuesday night, I've got us down to 39 in Indianapolis. There will be some outlying areas into the mid-30s, and that will likely produce some patchy areas of frost. Shouldn't be widespread, but just something to keep an eye on. All right. So the pattern starts to get a little more active midweek, late week, and into the weekend with some fluctuation in temperatures and several rain opportunities. We're going to have a warm front sliding through on Wednesday. So I expect mostly cloudy skies as we go through the day on Wednesday, the 11th. Some scattered showers will be possible then as we go into the afternoon hours. Heaviest rain probably doesn't happen until that warm front makes its way all the way into northern Indiana, but there could be some areas that pick up as high as 1/4 of an inch of rainfall. Wednesday's high 66. We'll have an overnight low of 53 because we'll be left with a lot of cloud cover. I do think we're going to be in between systems on Thursday. And so Thursday is going to be a dry day with partly to mostly cloudy skies. That's Thursday the 12th. We'll finish with a high of around 72. May see a few brief showers here and there, maybe in the evening hours, but I wouldn't bet on it. Like I said, I think we're in between systems, so most of the day should be dry. Pattern gets more active here. We'll have an area of low pressure moving in on Friday and a powerhouse cold front kind of trailing it here, which will bring some big temperature changes. Right now, it does appear, this is Friday the 13th. I'm going to go ahead and knock on wood right there. Friday the 13th. I think we're going to start off dry for the morning hours, but we'll go mostly cloudy as we get deeper into the day. And I do think showers and thunderstorms will be likely for the second half of the day. Exactly when, still a little far out to tell, but it does appear if you're going to Friday night football, I know we're going to get kind of to the tail end of the regular season. Could be wet, could be stormy, so something to keep an eye on. Highs near 70, and I think those rain opportunities will continue well into your Friday overnight with a low down to 50. Heading in the weekend, we're going to get on the back end of this cold front, and so we'll get on the back end of that low too. And so we mentioned it here on the podcast before. Everything is cyclonic here, around a low pressure, meaning in the northern hemisphere, that means everything wraps around that counterclockwise. So the low moving to the east is still going to wrap around some moisture on the back end. And so I think some spotty showers will be possible Saturday. Otherwise, it's going to be mostly cloudy. It's going to be pretty raw. We'll go with a high of 57, overnight lows into the mid 40s. That's Saturday the 14th. And I think same thing for Sunday with mostly cloudy skies and a few spotty showers possible, highs in the mid 50s, overnight lows into the mid 40s. And it looks like we'll just kind of hang there temperature wise heading into Monday, the 16th, with partly to mostly cloudy skies, maybe a sprinkle or two possible with highs into the mid 50s. So yeah, a lot of big swings in this 8-day forecast here. We'll gradually warm up for the middle of the week and then a sharp cool down once again heading our way this weekend. Rainfall amounts, as much as we were talking about rain there, especially for the weekend, 7-day rainfall estimates only really puts us at 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rainfall, but there could be locally higher amounts, and that's something worth mentioning, especially if you get under a thunderstorm. That could do a little damage there in terms of rainfall, which again we still need at this point, even with all the rain that we picked up last week and the week before. We're still considered in a moderate drought. All right, so that takes us all the way to the middle of the month. Coming up, we'll have the forecast for the last 2 weeks of October, temperature-wise, for the most part. We'll talk about that and some October stats, where we stand right now. That's coming up next on Weather Weekly. All right, some quick stats here for the month of October, as we've got one full week under our belt here. For the month, precip-wise, we're just over 3/4 of an inch. So we're pretty close to where we should be for this time of year. Not bad there. Since September 1st, 2.38 inches of rain. We're down 1.5 inches. And since January 1, 30.50, we are down about 4 1/3 inches for the year. So we're still running dry for this calendar year. All right, let's get to the Climate Prediction Center's 8 to 14 day outlook. This would take us for the weeks of October 16th through the 22nd. And a weak signal, but a signal nonetheless, of below average temperatures for the central and southern portions of the state, near normal for the northern third. And a pretty decent signal for, surprise, surprise, below average precipitation. So not the news that we were looking for there. The 3 to 4 week outlook, which would take us from the 21st to November 3rd, a pretty decent signal for below average temperatures for the entire state, and nothing really strong signaling either way for above or below average precipitation in that time frame. All right. I mean, this is a month. We talked about it. It's a month of fluctuations, right? There's a lot of swings here. So I don't see big cold. All right. I think back to, I mentioned on the podcast several now, Halloweens ago. It's probably about 5 years ago, maybe, where it was sleeting and snowing on Halloween. I remember taking the kids out and they were not happy about it. They were ready to go inside. So, but I don't see that kind of chill working through right now. I mean, it's tough to gauge once we get to the latter portion of the month. It does say below average. And by the end of the month, our average highs are usually in the mid-60s. So we shall see. I hope you have a very good week. Thanks for stopping by here on the podcast. Don't forget you can get our forecast 24 hours a day at wishtv.com and our Storm Track 8 weather app. You can also follow me on social media. That's Marcus Bailey Weather on Facebook and at Marcus Bailey on X, formerly Twitter, and Instagram as well. You can shoot me an email if you need to get a hold of me as well there, marcus.bailey@wishtv.com. And you can always catch my forecast on the TV side Monday through Friday on Wish TV's Daybreak starting at 4 a.m. Have a wonderful week while you're here. Make sure to check out all the other great podcasts, all part of the All Indiana Podcast Network. We will talk to you next week. God bless.
Discover more from Storm Track 8 Weather and Wish TV. Online at wishtv.com and when you follow Wish TV on Facebook. Plus, be sure to check out more great podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.